Welcome to Cross Rifle Outdoors. Today we're going to be setting up rifle dies, particularly the 223 Remington. We will be using custom grade new dimension dies by Hornady. We will be using the lock and load press from Hornady. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to insert our bushing into the press. Now, different presses such as our CBS do not require these bushings. Their press itself is threaded. You can save money by just buying one bushing and leaving it into the die, but I prefer to have one for each die. So we are going to go ahead and insert the appropriate shell holder, and we're going to grab our sizing die. We will raise the ram up and screw the die down until it touches the top of the shell holder. There's no need to really torque down on it or get it tight. Just barely touching your shell holder is perfect. So now that we're touching the shell holder, we're going to lower the ram and give it about a quarter of a turn and snug down the locking ring. And we'll give it a try. Here we have the appropriate cam over, and I hope that you're able to hear that over the camera. Each die set comes with an Allen wrench to tighten your locking ring. I prefer a driver on a screwdriver, and it's just personal preference. Now that we have our depth set, we need to adjust our decapping pin. So rotating your spindle clockwise will bring it out, rotating it counterclockwise will bring it in. I start mine out with just about a quarter of an inch of the decapping pin coming out of the bottom of the die. And when you screw in the lock ring, it will screw your your decapping pin out. So it's something that you need to be conscious of. So we'll take some of our fired brass here, and we're going to need some case lubricant. I prefer the Hornady One Shot. We'll give it a couple generous squirts, move it around, and give it just a little bit more. Now, you don't need to be slamming your arm down. It should be one continuous motion. If you're fighting your casings that much, either you have it set incorrectly or you don't have enough case lubricant. And now that we're popping these primers out consistently, we're going to go ahead and use a 1/2 inch end wrench, and we're going to tighten down our decapping pin. Now we're on to setting up our bullet seating die. So we'll insert our next bushing, and we'll take one of our casings and place it in the shell holder, and we'll start screwing in our die with the ram all the way up until we just start making contact with the mouth of the casing, which is right there. So we're going to back it off about 1/2 of a turn. I do not crimp my rifle cartridges. I have never had any issues with bullet creep, even on large caliber rifles. So now that we've got the depth that we want our die set to, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tighten down our lock ring. Today we are setting for a Hornady 55 grain spire point with a canneler. For those new into reloading, this is the ring that wraps all the way around the bullet. So now we will set our bullet onto our casing and raise the ram. We will take our seating stem and we're going to turn it down until we feel it touch the bullet. Then we are going to lower the ram, and right about 4 rotations is a good starting point. What we want to do is line up the mouth of the casing to the cannular and then check with a set of calipers to make sure we've hit factory cartridge overall length. So 4 rotations brought us down a significant amount, but we still have a long ways to go. So let's go ahead and give it 4 more rotations. And as you can see, 4 more rotations put us really close to being where we want to be. So let's go ahead and we'll start making less adjustments, and we'll move it about a quarter of a turn. And we'll keep doing so until we line up the case mouth with the cannular. And as you can see here, we have the bottom of our cannular set perfectly to the case mouth. So now we're going to refer to the Hornady manual, and it gives us a cartridge overall length of 2.185, and we're going to measure this, and we are 2.188. So we're going to go ahead and just give it just a tiny turn. A little bit goes a long ways. Reseat our bullet and take another measurement. We're at 2.186. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to give it just the smallest amount. And now we're at 2.1855, which is perfectly acceptable to be a 1/2 thousandth off from our target cartridge overall length. Reloading and setting your dies is that simple, and it is the same process for any rifle cartridge that is a bottlenecked cartridge. If you're new into shooting and new into reloading with everything that we've got going on, it's great to have you. And it's great that we can produce videos like this to help educate people so they do it right the first time. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you.